I say this with love. I cannot tell you when to retwist your hair. I'm not entitled. I don't have the right to tell someone what they should do. I can only share based on my own experiences, my own, you know, decisions, and say, this is what I've done. This is what's worked for me. This is what I'm doing currently. I don't really wait for my retwist. I live in between that time, and I call my retwist my resets. But let me not let this video jump around a bit. Let me just flow with it. Let's just tackle that question first off, and why I do not feel like I can tell you what you should be doing with your hair. How I look at the whole process is different to when I began, because, you know, things change, you learn stuff, and so you adapt, you remain agile, you shift. You know, your life goes through different things as well. So like, I'm recognizing that I'm not the same Olivia I was at the beginning of my journey in December 2020, in January 2021. And so now it's like recognizing that I'm doing what's right for my hair at this time. This is why when people come to me and say, can you suggest how often I should retwist my hair, I'm like, I really can't. Part of it is because so many things go into it. There's so many factors to consider. Commitments, priorities, like what do you have going on in your life at the time? Can you really dedicate time to sit down and retwist your hair? Which kind of leads on to another point. Are you doing it, or is someone else doing it? Like, do you have to schedule time with someone else or the person who does your hair and make sure they're available to when you want it done? Is it someone where you can do like a last minute drop in, or do you have to book it in advance, you know, just to be considerate of other people's time and other people's commitments, schedules, priorities, etc. So considering the person who's doing your hair, their time, their energy, their effort, all that good stuff. So you've got those factors, but then you also have other things. It's like asking yourself, why are you chasing a retwist all the time? I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to keep your locks in a certain way, but I love the time in between. Like, it allows me to breathe, it allows me to really live life, it allows me to kind of nurture new growth, new opportunities, new things, do a health check on my locks, because if I'm constantly caught up with looking neat and perfect, then am I really like allowing myself to express myself naturally, organically, and all that good stuff? Am I truly enjoying what locks are about for me, which is liberation, being free, not feeling tied down to certain standards or orders or ways of doing things? Like, so it's become actually more enjoyable to kind of just let time flow from one retwist to the next. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a retwist, I love a reset, I know how it makes me feel, and I love that high. But that's exactly what it is, a high. So it only lasts for so long. And so for me, it's like, okay, I can't just enjoy my lock journey when I get it freshly retwisted. I need to enjoy all the time in between. So it's very personal. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. So like, you can't really expect someone else to tell you how often you should retwist your locks or retie, if that's the method that you use. I'm not saying don't ask people, because obviously you want to know, but you also don't want to do it too often, because, you know, that over manipulation of the hair strands could actually weaken your locks later on down the line. And it also depends on what you're trying to achieve. I know some people just retwist when they feel like it. I love that whole concept. It's like when I want to. It's like when I put my retwist videos out and people are like, every time I see your video, it just makes me think I should be retwisting my hair. I will do it when it feels right for you, because I do mine and I need to be mentally in a place to do it because of the energy that I pour in, and I really enjoy it. It's like one of those extended self-care experiences for me. And so I take my time. I don't like to rush. I don't like to have other things scheduled or going on at the time. So, you know, I kind of know when my next retwist is going to be with each one that I sit and do. But that could change. Anything can happen between now and then. I started with the intention of having like rectangular shaped parts. And I started with a center part. So not everyone does, but I did, because I installed my 2-strand twist as my starter locks, and I do all my hair maintenance. So I wanted to have a center part. Not everyone does. I researched parting systems for locks at the beginning of my journey, but not so much now, because I have what I have. Like, my foundation is set, I'm happy with it, so I don't need to, I personally am not at a stage in my journey where I need to research that information. But remembering what I found out when I was thinking about how I want to install my locks, I knew that I would want to do pigtails or twin buns. I knew that I would be maintaining my hair myself, and so therefore a center part is just a way of me finding a starting point with maintenance, and also meant that if I plan to do my hair in certain styles, I would like a center part. So that was the very first part that I did when I was installing my 2-strand twist. Now my part is not clean, meaning it's not like a straight line. That may have been the intention in the beginning, but over the years that I've had locks, having clean parts, like where they're almost all the parts are the same size, so there's symmetry or mirroring or whatever, directly parallel lines, was not important to me. It became less and less important to me over the years. Yes, I still have clean parts to the extent of hair strands know where they need to go, or they're reassigned during maintenance processes to the lock that they should be in, or the lock that I desire them to be in, but I don't need my parts to be dead straight. And so I don't overly manipulate my hair strands in order to achieve perfectly straight or close to perfect straight parts, because perfection is not something that I am pushing for. I like progress. I like having things that work for me, but it's not the end of the world for me personally if my parts are not perfectly straight. So I let that go, I'd say after maybe a year or so into my lock journey.